Farewell, My Friend is a really enjoyable Rugrats episode, and I think I'll be discussing some spoilery things. So, just if you haven't seen the episode or if you perhaps don't remember it very well, that's just a warning that I think pretty much from the beginning I'm going to be discussing some spoiler thoughts. This is the second segment of the sixth episode of the third season, and when I saw the title for this, I couldn't remember it, it didn't ring any bells, and I thought, who are we saying goodbye to? And I genuinely had a mini panic where I thought we were saying goodbye to not one of the main characters, but somebody. But actually, it's not quite as traumatic as that. Chuckie is just finally fed up of the fact that Tommy is always getting him into really difficult situations. And this comes about after they go exploring this big green box, which is Chaz's new greenhouse. And they get into a very scary situation. Chaz has this very over the top, elaborate outfit that he wears to go into the greenhouse, which is presumably for when he's spraying pesticides. But it seems a bit extreme, but it works, and Chuckie breaks his glasses. And then he has a nightmare, which is very well animated. And he says enough is enough. And suddenly, with a little bit of encouragement from Angelica, it seems like Tommy and Chuckie are not going to be friends anymore. Interestingly, Angelica's not in it very much, but she doesn't need to be. She just plants the seed of the idea that Tommy is better off without Chuckie and Chuckie is better off without Tommy. And they decide that that's that. Their friendship has to be over. However, the grown-ups still rely on each other for babysitting, and Didi takes Tommy over to Chuckie's house, and Phil and Lil are also there. And it's a little bit awkward. Chuckie is playing ball by himself, and Phil and Lil are just kind of stuck in the middle. Tommy decides to go off and explore the greenhouse again by himself. And as I said, there will be spoilers here for what happens next, but I really want to discuss it because I thought it was rather wonderful. While he's out there, he gets attacked by a snake, which is actually a water hose that definitely looks a little bit like a snake. And Chuckie realizes that Tommy is off on his own and he's in a dangerous situation, and deep down he still loves and cares for Tommy and can't imagine his best friend being in that scary place all alone. So off Chuckie goes by himself, muttering, "I'm a big brave dog, I'm a big brave dog," which is something that featured a couple of episodes ago, and I like that it kind of brought that back in again. And he goes off to save Tommy and help him, and it's so lovely and shows that Chuckie is able to overcome some of his biggest fears in order to save his best friend. And I think it's absolutely lovely. And they both have, lessons to learn. Tommy has to learn that he has to respect what Chuckie wants and what Chuckie feels safe to do. And Chuckie has to learn that actually, even though he's different to his best friend and they have different tolerances, that doesn't mean they can't be very, very good friends. There's also this really great quote. The quote's from Phil, and he says, "Sometimes it takes an emergency to find out who your real friends are," which I thought was just so true and definitely very accurate. And at the very end, Phil and Lil, because Tommy and Chuckie are bickering about what to do next, Phil and Lil just go off on their own into this through this door to find some toys, and I just thought it was a brilliant ending. Really great episode, very moving. The idea of the Shadow Man and Chaz's elaborate outfit I thought was a good antagonist for the babies. But I think it's also a lesson for everybody of any age that you need to respect your friends, and that also you can have differences of opinion but still care about each other. I thought it was very moving, very good, very well done. Some really lovely moments, and Chuckie was just absolutely wonderful.